You learn a lot about a person by how they lie. Some people stutter, some people over-explain. My wife, Elena, she gets quiet, she gets perfect. For the last 3 weeks, Elena has been perfect. I sat in my car, the engine idling, watching the rain blur the neon sign of the Starlight Motel. It was a Wednesday night, 11:42 p.m. A respectable man would be in bed. A trusting husband would be asleep. I was neither. I was a man haunting his own marriage. It started with the phone. She changed her passcode. Then came the late shifts at the graphic design firm. She'd come home smelling of something sharp and industrial, cheap lemon soap and bleach. I told myself it was the office cleaners. Then I found the receipt in her coat pocket, a cash withdrawal, $2,000. We didn't have $2,000. We barely had $200. My landscaping business had tanked 6 months ago. I hadn't told her how bad it was. I thought I was protecting her. I took out loans to keep the lights on, maxed out credit cards to buy groceries. I was drowning, silently, hoping to turn it around before she noticed the water rising. But she had noticed, and instead of talking to me, she had found an exit strategy. I watched the motel door, room 104. The light flickered. My chest felt hollowed out. I gripped the steering wheel until my knuckles turned white. I imagined him. Was he rich? Was he stable? Did he have a job that didn't involve begging clients to pay their invoices? I hated him, but God, I hated myself more. I had failed her. I had let the rot set in, and now she was cutting the limb off to save herself. The door to room 104 opened. I held my breath. I expected a man to walk out. I expected a kiss, a lingering touch, the intimacy I hadn't felt in months. Elena stepped out. She looked exhausted. Her shoulders were slumped, her hair tied back in a messy bun. She turned and waved? No, she wasn't waving. She was dragging something. A heavy, rolling cart, a mop bucket. I blinked. The rain hammered against the windshield, distorting the image, but the neon sign buzzed clearly enough. She pulled the cart to the next door, room 105. She took a key card from her pocket, unlocked it, and went inside. The air in my car suddenly felt too thin. I turned off the ignition. I walked across the wet asphalt, the rain soaking through my jacket instantly. I reached the window of room 105. The curtains were drawn, but there was a gap. I looked inside. There was no lover. There was no affair. My wife was on her hands and knees. She was scrubbing the grout of the bathroom floor. She looked tired, bone deep, soul-crushing tired. She stopped for a moment, sitting back on her heels, and wiped sweat from her forehead with the back of her wrist. She checked her phone. She smiled at the screen. My phone buzzed in my pocket. I pulled it out. A text from Elena. Heading home soon. Love you. Don't wait up. I stared at her through the glass. The sharp smell on her clothes wasn't from a shower to wash off another man. It was industrial cleaner. The cash withdrawal wasn't for a getaway. It was for the debt. She knew. She must have seen the overdue notices I hid in the garage. She must have seen the bank statements I buried in the trash. But she didn't scream. She didn't shame me. She didn't pack a bag. She got a second job, a night shift, cleaning motel rooms for minimum wage so her husband wouldn't feel like a failure. I leaned my forehead against the cold brick of the exterior wall. The rain mixed with the hot tears tracking down my face. I had spent weeks building a courtroom in my head, prosecuting her for betrayal. Meanwhile, she was scrubbing floors to keep a roof over that courtroom. I walked back to the car. I didn't confront her. I couldn't. If I went in there, I would break, and I needed to be strong for her. I drove home. I took a shower and put on pajamas. I laid in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the clock tick. An hour later, I heard the front door open softly. I heard her footsteps, heavy and slow. The shower ran. When she slipped into bed beside me, she smelled a lavender lotion masking the bleach. Her skin was cold. "You awake?" she whispered. I turned to her. In the dark, I traced the line of her jaw with my thumb. "Yeah. Sorry I'm late," she said, the lie smooth and perfect. "Deadline at the office." "It's okay," I said. I pulled her close, burying my face in her neck. I held her tighter than I ever had, holding on to the only thing in the world that actually mattered. "Elena? I love you more than anything." She squeezed my hand, her fingers rough and calloused against my palm. "I know, brave guy, I know." She fell asleep in minutes. I stayed awake, watching her breathe. Tomorrow, I would sell the truck. I would sell the tools. I would come clean about the debt. We would face the wreckage together. But tonight, I just let her sleep. She had earned it.